Anyway, now we are going to take the temperature of the domain industry in the 3 Baltic states. Let's check if the patient is alive or not. And we will start with Estonia, and Heiki, the floor is yours.
Welcome to the Baltic Domain Days. It's the 5th one, and I'm very happy that we create to do so far. And hopefully we have to learn today something, everybody. And I start with Estonia. And last time I report you that we are almost all digital except marriage and divorce things must be do physically, let's say. And it's mean that now in 2020 already and 2024 we create the e-marriage system and e-divorce systems. It means that you have possibility to submit the application via e-popular registry, and you have possibility to do this action also. But it's allowed to meet people in nature, in conferences, and to make the contacts, eye contact, and everything. This is allowed in Estonia also. And some new things for Estonians as that we create a data tracker. It means that you have possibility to follow what people and officials and state agency are look your personal information and why they are doing so. And it's one step about transparency, what even minister told us. And of course, we know that we didn't use laptops almost anymore, many of us at least. And we know the Ukraine example where everything is in the mobile phone. And yes, we have also now in the state app what called Eesti.ee. And it's very beginning, but you have driver licenses, you have passport, ID cards. This data tracker is in this app, and it's hopefully becoming more convenient to be connection with your state. But this journey never ends, I must say, and we have also possibility to find some services what is not digital yet. For example, one very great thing is to cut the Christmas tree. You go to the forest, you look in mobile app where is the location, then you say that I want to cut this tree, and then you pay in this forest, and you take this Christmas tree and go home. And especially families with the children use this very, very, very much in Estonia. And very many small things. And I personally like very much this e-notary. It spends so much your time that you have to go to some office somewhere in center of Tallinn where is not parking spaces and so on. And it means that we must all the times create the better solution for our society. But this digital society is the team sport in sense that cooperation with the different offices and services is some basic of success, let's say. And we know that crime, for example, is coming in the streets to the internet, of course. And when we discuss long times in Europe and even in globally that registries, CC registries especially, don't deal with content in internet, then it's not possible anymore to look somewhere else. And we, Estonian Internet Foundation, adopt the principles of the management of contents, and it's for the society that they know what kind of criminality or fraud we are dealing. It's about the content, ESOPs, terrorists, hate speech, whatever, and of course the technical things, abuse and difficult nature, and the most important, that who deal with whom. And you have the possibility to contact the right officer, right person, and we do our part and role. Now, one thing what Minister even mentioned, we are very proud that we agreed with e-business registry that where you create your company, you have possibility to buy domain name also, .ee. And it's convenient for the user, and it's avoid the situation when you register your company, and of course you may do it in online, and after that next day somebody is offering your domain name for you, but of course not in the 6 or 10 euros, but it's 100 or more. And we agreed with business registry the short-term reservation of domain names. It's free of charge. It's up to 10 domains, and it's reserved 7 days for you. And it's your time to register it somewhere you desired domain name. And we create a long-term reservation that it means that you almost buy these domain names, and it's cost you 10 euros per year. And it's basically for the bigger company and global company who want to came to the Estonian market, and they have a lot of things what to do before that, and it's possibility for them. We have created the co-marketing program in this year, and it's the first time, and it's nothing new in our world, domain world, but still our aim is that to support the registrars and quality of .ee zone, and we have to survey when we learn, try to understand better why renewal is, why people don't renew this domain name, or why they are doing so. And that's why these conditions are that we support especially renewal and long-term registration, and when the domain is related some other services like email or hosting or something, and we know that these domain names are mostly renewed after that. And it's the 50,000 euros per year. It's a small amount, but in Estonian market is something, of course. And let's see, we try to, in the next year, this program is continued at least. And we have some things new also what to report, that for example we lowered the domain dispute fees. It means for the individual and the non-profit organization, And before that, this was 690 euros per this dispute, and we get a lot of asking that why is so high, and it's the aim is that the .e zone will be the most honest, let's say, zone, and that's why today it's the 390 euros per individuals and non-profits organization, and it's very good to announce that something in our society is going lower also, not higher, but everything else. We remind our price, 1 year registration price in the €6. Very soon it's 10 years already. We protecting the small registrars in our national transmission on the NIS2, and we are very proud that in 1st of October our government is decided something that is we are successful in this negotiation, and that's things what we discuss later maybe. For us is ISO certificate to get it in this year, and we are before that it's the Estonian one ISKE, and it's the German one in origin, but now the NIS2 need to be the other ones, and it's the ISO what we get. We have the very long journey to the cloud, and of course we are very proud that our ED service reached the profit in this year, and we waited a long time, and now it's done. And in the very end, I introduce our statistics panel or report here also, and put to the our countries to the post-COVID times for your look, and congratulations Lithuania that you are doing so well. I don't know what is the reason, and Tomas are possibility to tell is I hope it's not metro poles and tobacco business, but something else. And of course EU is very important for our market, and that's why I put EU also here. And in Estonia, you see there is the decline in the last year, and there is the 3 reasons, not only 1 reason. And it's first reason is economic situation. It's decline in economic, as we know, and it's in the long period. And then many Chinese customers are leaving in our zone. It's the second reason, and the third one is that in the beginning of year we start automated control of the business registry, and it's influence also a little bit for that decline. But we have already up, and August and September are much better now. And finally, I am very proud that in this year we have, with our Baltic neighbors, very fruitful talks about cybersecurity, and it's always help when we compare and share the knowledge, and stronger we are together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Heiki. I'm Katrina from .lv, and I'll tell you more about Latvia and Latvia's top-level domain, .lv. As the distinguished minister already started by sharing her story from another industry, from tourism, I will also tell you that when we talk about Latvia in the context of tourism, we usually say Latvia is the land that sings. I wish it was Latvia is the land that registers domain names, but we're going there. We're getting there, so I hope that one day that definitely will be true. It is to some extent already. And well, here you can see a similar picture that Heiki already showed, because we, in our countries, that's what we love doing. We sing. And as one of the most popular folk songs from Latvia say, I was born singing, I was growing up singing, I was working singing, and I was registering domain names singing. That's what our customers do. And at this point, we have a little bit more than 140,000 domain names, and that's less than our neighbors, even the smaller country of Estonia. But we still love our customers because our customers are the best. They register new domain names and they keep renewing them. Of course, some are deleted. There's nothing we can do about that. And of course, we can see that those registrations, they always show some seasonal trends. This summer, for example, was pretty cold. I don't know, but I know that in some countries in Europe, it was really, really hot. Here, it was horrible. We were freezing. And what do you do when you freeze? Well, you register domain names. So the most productive month was July, so it was plus more than 37% compared to June last year. The lowest activity was in June. I don't know, maybe people were expecting hot summer, so they were getting ready, you know, their bikini and everything, but nope, didn't happen. So they started registering domain names. As I said, we are happy that people keep renewing domain names, and that is very important when we think about the way how we can grow constant, very stable customer base. DNSSEC, again, I know that in Estonia they see growing numbers. Our numbers grow, but not as quickly as we probably would have loved to see. Some of the new services and improvements that we offer in our CCTLD is that last year we introduced WIPO dispute resolution service, and we already seen some cases tried there using this alternative dispute resolution process. Together with Center.lv, we've introduced DNS firewall, and that is becoming more and more popular as people use it to protect themselves, not only from malicious domains, not only from some websites that had been infected or hacked or whatever, but also be protected from some scammers, from phone numbers. If you use this application on your mobile phone, it will block scammers from even reaching you. For our direct customers, we've introduced automatic payment system, which helps people to set up their the payments using their credit card, so they don't have to remember renewing their domain names every year. It can be done automatically, which is also very helpful to see your renewals going up. And yeah, one of our very, how to call it, a long-term project. We're developing a new back-end system for our registrations, for our customer care, and everything related to that. Oh, that's okay. I'm not even go there. I'm not going there. Key achievement. Again, I think that almost all TLDs can say that yes, we're up. We're up and running, and we ensure that everybody who uses our services can get a reliable availability of the zone. This is something that our industry has always been proud of, because somebody said, I think it was Peter, who said that he had a conversation, Peter from Center, who said he had a conversation with some Euro bureaucrat, if I may use the word, who said, no, CCTLDs, never heard of them. And he said, that's because they work. If they didn't work, you would hear about that immediately, and you would know what the CCTLD is. And that always happens if something is not working. We survey our customers regularly, and we see that they are happy with our service. We're happy to report that they are happy. Well, they also satisfied with the process, and here we're talking about our direct customers, because unlike .ee, for example, we also serve some customers directly. Oh, we talk about coming years. We would like to concentrate on effectiveness and efficiency, or E&D. Let's call it E&D, not EE, but E&E. And that is, first, to increase effectiveness and provide a better customer service. Then, increase productivity, to give the tools to our team to make their work more efficient, and to make some daily tasks easier to perform. And for both effectiveness and efficiency, we need this improved domain name management system. As I said, that's a long-term project, and we're slowly, steadily getting there, and happy to report about it in the next Baltic Domain Days event. So who are the people who register domain names with us? Those are, well, legal entities, mainly legal entities, but also quite a few individuals. So we're going to talk about that more tomorrow, so I'm not going concentrate on percentage here at the moment. But as Heiki already mentioned, it's important to see that the domain names that people register are being used. And here we also can see that people do use .lv domain names for websites, for emails, and also for other services. Here you can see another interesting graph. Another thing that helps you with renewals. The longer a domain name is being used, the longer it's in use, the higher is the probability of it being renewed. And that's why we are trying to concentrate on the group of these domain names. They are already our customers. And when we talk about direct customers, we decided that last year, actually it's already well, a bit more than a year, every month we look at those customers whose domain names have been in use for more than 5 years. They have a website, they have an email address, but they haven't renewed it. They haven't made a payment. So we call them. Probably in the time when you get calls from scammers almost daily, it's not a good idea. However, I must say that, to my great surprise actually, people do respond and they are happy, and many of them are happy to say that, oh, thank you very much, somehow we missed the payment and we're happy to renew the domain name because we need that domain name. Yes, we saw that, that's why we called you. And for those of you who, maybe registrars, maybe offering other zones, for example, Gs, we can see that from center stats, we see that new GTLDs are getting popular. If a couple of years ago we didn't see, well, we saw only few registrations in Gs, especially new GTLDs. Here, now we see that, yes, they're getting momentum. Especially, there are two new GTLDs that are very popular, and those are surprisingly Top and Click. I don't know why, but these are getting very popular among Latvians, because Latvia is the land that registers domain names, at least Top and Click. So thank you very much. Those are my 10 minutes. I think I they have run out, and I'm happy to give the clicker to Tomas so that he can find out. Thank you.
Hello. It's nice to be here. I think the first conference of Baltic Domain Days was in Tallinn, maybe 7, no? Oh, first in the year, second one. Sorry. But I remember it was maybe 7 years ago or something like that, and it was in the same area in different buildings. So I remember it was very nice conference also. So I'm happy that we're keeping going with it. So let's talk about .lt domain. For those who are not familiar with us, so it's we're still organizational unit, part of the University of Kaunas University of Technology. We are 16 in our team, and our financing, so we're living from the income for the provided services. So we are like separate department in university, which has this like somehow, how to say, independency, and not only in finance area, but in technology, in infrastructure, and so on. We have separated our networking, connectivity. We have a separate agreement with RIPE for IP addresses, and so on and so on. So even as we are part of university, we are quite separate by that means. And services we provide are all about DNS. So the main service is it's operating country code top-level domain name .lt. So the second service, we already have clients. It's like registrar business, let's say, but it's not only like registrar. We are supporting also academic research network, LitNet in Lithuania, they DNS services. So most of academic institutions in Lithuania using recursive DNS servers, which are provided, operated by us. Also, we administer DNS servers for the university. And one of the projects, we are together with National Cybersecurity Center in Lithuania. So it's like a national DNS firewall. So we are operating DNS servers and then recursive DNS servers, and National Cybersecurity Center is providing block lists for malicious content, and also all block lists from the national institutions which are responsible for protecting some areas like Lithuanian Bank for finance area protection, the other authorities protection for copyright and other areas. So they are providing these lists to these name servers, the DNS servers, and we are operating the infrastructure. So we already have 3 quarters of 2025. So in digits, what does it mean? We have growth from the 1st of January. We have plus 3.4% of growth of registered .lt domain names. Renewal rate is more or less the same. I have no exact numbers, but it could be different by 0 point something. So, but it's for 3 maybe years in a row, it's about 86%. But it's the whole renewal rate. We have different renewal rate when we looked yearly by domain name age. So our registrars asked about us to find this information to prepare. So we looked at domain names which are just registered, and during first renewal, it's less. It's 67%, I think, renewal rate for the domain names that just were registered 1 year before. So, and bigger age of domain name, the greater renewal rate is. So we have about 86% local registrants, natural and legal persons, a little bit more legal persons, but it's not a very big difference. We have four less accredited registrars during this year. So, and I think this tendency could be for a few next years because of requirements for cybersecurity, so which are for registrars. For smaller registrars, it's not very easy to comply. I hear that Heiki said that in Estonia you have protection some kind for the smaller maybe registrars. In Lithuanian law, after transposition, I think there is no difference. It doesn't say about size. Also, this year we have growth of the NSEC-enabled domain names. Of course, it's relatively still quite small. It's less than 2% of all domain names, but it's growing, so it's a good sign. So, and we hope that our registrars, biggest registrars, will step into this and to provide the NSEC services to their customers. And I want to say this time thank you to our biggest NSEC-enabled registrar. So it's Estonian, it's Zone Media. Guys, thank you. You are leading the way. For IDN domain names, it shows some growth, but usually it's the same. So it's about 1% of domain names IDN, so it sometimes a little bit grows, sometimes it reduces, so it's almost similar all the time. What's new in the registry? So last week, our rector of university confirmed the new procedure and rules for non-judicial mediation services. So we have colleague Laura, our lawyer, who is now accredited mediator in Lithuania. So she will be providing non-judicial mediation service free of charge for some situations when people want to negotiate maybe some conflict potential. So just before going to the court. But it's very fresh. It's not officially still in a press release or in our website, but it will come soon as a news. And we already announced to our registrars about our plans to increase domain name price starting of 2026. So because of inflation, of cost of the services we provide, and new regulations which come with transposing NIS2 to our local legislation. So we checked how price increase could affect what part of our .lt domain name registrants it will affect. So we looked at the portfolios of domain names, and currently we have about 130,000 unique registrants who having 247,000 registered .lt domain names. So, and majority of them have only one domain name registered. So it's about 96,000 of domain names and registrants, and they are part of, they are 73, almost 74% of the whole registrants. So, and as you can see, then 24% of registrants have from 2 to 10 domain names, from 11 to 30, 1.2%, and to look more than 100 domain names have 0.03% of our registrants. So it's 42 registrants. So they are most likely maybe domainers. Cybersecurity, as I mentioned, NIS2 regulation was transposed to national law, and there are requirements for top-level domain registries, there are requirements for DNS service providers, and there are requirements for registrars. TLD registries and DNS service providers are special cybersecurity entities. Registrars are important cybersecurity entities, but in Lithuania, you need to comply with regulation if you are included in the list of National Cybersecurity Center's list of cybersecurity entities. So, and this list is not public. So, actually, we don't know how many our registrars are included in this list. So, but by the law, all of them mostly should be included, because if you are DNS service provider, if you're providing authoritative DNS or recursive DNS service, says except root DNS services, you are a special subject for cybersecurity. And if you think that maybe it will not affect you, these new rules, I would say that it will affect many of registrars also, just because the clients who are cybersecurity entities, they will require their suppliers to be compliant with cybersecurity law. So if your domain name is registered by, I don't know, some governmental institution or some, I don't know, water supply company or so they most likely they will require you to provide your ability to protect domain name, to comply with cybersecurity requirements. And of course, we as part of university also, we see that we need to teach and law enforcement and government and small medium enterprises and students. And Heiki asked why .lt domain name growth is quite stable and good. So it's hard to say. I think there are maybe two things that I could mention. Maybe one is just it's together with Lithuanian economy. I think one part is. Second is that I think I want to say thanks again to our registrars who are offering, at least for Lithuanian community, to choose maybe .lt domain name at the first order, and only then to use other GTLDs or other domain names. And maybe some teaching, all information spread it to small, medium enterprises during different events, to students and so on. Maybe it helps somehow, so at least I hope. And what we are learning, so we think that the continuous learning of cybersecurity is essential for us as important cybersecurity entity. So, and we are going with it. Thank you. Aitach, paldies, ačiū.
So, please, gentlemen. Thomas, you do.
Okay.
Also. Yeah. Okay. Good. So, and now some 20 minutes. Heads of the registries are with you, and I think it's best to give the floor to the audience. That have you any questions, because you now listening 3 updates for registry. Have you any question? If you have not, please.
I am curious about, no, thank you, I can do without the microphone.
But we have online visit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why
Great,
it's
great.
needed.
If you
Yes,
can
thank you.
for me, thanks a lot. So, I am curious about the same statistics provided about the Lithuanian market. of the quantity of people who holds, people or companies, who registers more than one domain. I would like to know the same, if available, about Estonia and Latvia.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, thank you so much. Well, the data is available, but I must admit I don't know it by heart. We will find out and I'll get back to you. We, of course, we have people who register more than one domain name, and the average was, I think, something 1.5 or 8, 6, 1.6. I'm sorry, we need microphone for online audience.
The reason for the question is that I think they are the heavy users. So it's interesting to know how many of the Baltic users are really heavy internet investors, users, business users.
But my answer is very same, and I tried to check my web page, what information we have in statistic here, but still, we have statistics corner right after this panel also. And Mare, you have time to look at Estonian numbers. Yeah,
if I may, there's another interesting aspect to look at, and that is the number of domain names registered per 100,000 people. And here I must say that we do more or less the same. I think Lithuanians are more active in that respect. They register, I think it was 11 or 12 or maybe even more domain names per...
I think looking for population, maybe Estonians are most active.
You think
because
so?
They have 170,000 domain names. And
No, I mean domain names, not just in our CCs, I mean domain names in all zones.
Oh.
I'm not talking about local CCTL. I mean, how many domain names people register. And that's not just for the local CCTLD. It's in general. For years I've been very envious of Germans because I thought that they were the most active registrants. But no, actually, they are not the most active, at least in Europe. People in the Netherlands are. They register like 38 domain names per, now I don't remember, was it 100 or 1,000 or 100,000 people. They are really active, and that can also be explained by economical situation in the country. They are more active in commercial space, and that makes them to realize the value of domain names. And I don't know how to convince people that they need more than one domain name, and I really applaud your question, because that is very important.
Yeah, but I saw in Estonian Internet Foundation webpage that 75% own the one domain, yes, and some 15% is two, and the other more heavy users are less and less. It means that it's publicly in webpage. Please visit. Yeah, but we have one more question. Yeah, please. Sorry.
Me first. This is Mario from INWX. You showed us your numbers for DNSSEC usage, and it's quite low for most of you, I think. I think it's a general problem for most TLDs, but I know some Scandinavian TLDs do something to attract registrars to do something. Are you doing something already, or do you plan to do something in the future?
Thank you again. Yes, we do. We offered a promotional prize for those registrars who signed their domain names under their management with DNSSEC. And for some, it was an incentive, but I must say not for all. Apparently, the investment and hassle with all this DNSSEC probably is not worth it. I don't know. But again, consumers at the moment, they do not ask for it. I think the moment they understand it's the value of DNSSEC, they might ask their registrars to provide the service.
Tomas.
We also have discounts for registrars for the first registration of domain names if they have already enabled the NSEC from the beginning. Not sure about, maybe it's about 10% discount from the regular price. So, but because it's not very easy to track or to count how long this NSEC is turned on and off. So that's why we're just checking at the beginning, at the moment of registration, if the NSEC DS records are provided during registration or not. If it's provided, then we count that it's enabled, and we are counting the discount for all the registrars. So no, any special agreements or something else needed. So, but
in the beginning, we tried to raise the awareness about the NSEC, but now I must repeat Tomas' word that thank you soon to doing that, and it's help. Yeah, but I take one question over here and then. We have a lot of opportunities in coffee breaks and in reception. Yeah, please, Lars.
Yeah, so this is a continuation of the last question. My name is LG Forsberg. I work for a company called IQ. There has been, like Mario mentioned, not only the financial incentives that .se and other Scandinavian countries and .nl and so on and so forth has done. There's now also a quite big push for registries to automate the ingestion of the NSEC data into their registries with CDNS key and so on and so forth. Is this something that the Baltic CCTLDs is looking into, to automatically pick up on the NSEC being enabled by the registrar and not only through like EPP adding of keys?
Yes, we were thinking about it, but at the moment we see a little confrontation between the two different channels from where the authority of the NSEC records could be updated. So because currently the registrar is the authority who provides information for the domain name. In this case, it would be DNS service provider. So, and if it's different, it could become like, I don't know, different information, one from the DNS provider, one from registrar, and collision could become. So still we think that at the moment to keep the authority to the registrar to provide this information. So
I'm just happy that it's on your radar and you're thinking about it. That's the most important part in this. Thank you.
We're looking for that. Yes, please.
Mari, if you give a microphone to our CTO, he might provide them right in front of you. Yeah.
Yes, so short comments. We haven't had a lot of time to look into that yet. We have NIS2 going on, but we know about this opportunity, and I agree that we need to probably next year look into this, not this year. Yeah.
There's a really cool guy called Peter that works at the ESEC that does a lot of cool research into it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but let's go.
Helmut has a question.
Yeah, please.
Good afternoon. And Helmut, host Maria, it is wonderful to be in Baltic Domain Days, probably my favorite domain name industry event, really. A question about drop catchers who shamelessly start catching domain names and putting up HTML, CSS websites based on the previous content. And the question is, it would be interesting to hear what are your approaches of each 3 countries, how do you approach it, and to police or not to police it, as now they are getting more cynical, more open, and of course they bring in quite a lot of money to their registries, but still, criminal activities. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Tomas?
In this case, we think that we are not going into the content of domain name usage. So we have, I think, quite many institutions in Lithuania who are protecting or looking for some part of the law that they supervise, and that the websites or all the content provided on internet would comply with this law. So from our perspective, yes, we have drop catchers. We see maybe as a problem more for drop catchers that they are competing between each other, and they are quite producing a heavy load to our systems. So during the times when we are starting to catch some interesting domain names, we are getting about maybe 12,000 domain name check requests per second in domain availability service. So sometimes we are starting to think that Estonian approach to go with auctions would be quite a good option maybe. So, but currently, yes, if you want to catch some domain name, you need to find the registrar who are specializing in drop catching. So we have few of them, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 of them. So, and just make order, ask them for domain name. But I think for the criminal abuses, I don't think that these drop catchers are getting these domain names just for malicious content, because they are more for getting them for profiting, for reselling them to other users, because these domain names are quite nice or popular or have some traffic, old traffic left from the search engines and so on.
Thank you. Katrina?
Yes, thank you. I do agree that drop catchers are a problem for our registry, but not for the content reasons per se, but because they cause us additional workload. Because those people who have lost their domain names, who haven't renewed them, and all of a sudden they discover that the domain name that they did not need now hosts a website that probably resembles their own, they're not happy. So they call us and we have to spend time to respond to them, to explain the situation and tell them about some legal ways how they can handle the situation. The problem is what we see, I don't know, 2 or 3 or maybe 4 registrars who offer the service to drop catchers. For us, it's pretty obvious, as Tomas said, that you have the load. Okay, we don't see, again, we don't see, don't look at the load, but we see those registrars that are being used to re-register, drop catch those domain names. And so that would be our question to those registrars. So why do you allow that? So you obviously profit for that. How can we handle the problem? So you are enablers in this case. You enable this situation to happen. Yeah, I wouldn't say that not necessarily criminal acts, but they do make money from the content that they copy. Yes, if it's a copyright violation, of course, it is a criminal activity. Sometimes they do use it for malicious purposes, but that is easier to handle because, well, you can block it, you can try to verify the data. And again, one more thing that we see with those registrars that enable drop catchers to get those domain names is that they are not very keen on verifying data. So when we ask them, are you sure that this person is who he claims he is or she is? They say, yeah, we checked, everything's fine. Or sometimes, oh, yeah, we checked, yeah, so we corrected the data. But they correct the data to the same absolute garbage, And again, we have to either ask them again, and actually at some point we stopped asking those registrars, we just do verification ourselves. So we ask registrants to verify themselves directly. Because those registrars who, yeah, and majority of their customers are probably very nice and very good people, but there are some bad apples in the basket.
Yeah, in Estonian case, most of you know that the auction system helps. Now we have twice so much drop catchers than before. And we get some revenue, what we are glad to offer to the youngsters and schools and teachers to some different projects in cybersecurity field or whatever. And this cooperation with e-business registry also will help that it help because it's when you register your company, immediately some guys know your names and something. Sure. It's not legal even, but they know. And we hope that step also help. But now I try to moderate panel such way that to ask where you have with NIS2 implementation in your national ground. And as Tomas says that you have already law, then you ask Katrina, yes. what the Latvian situation?
We also have, the requirements have been implemented and all the regulations of cabinet, okay, maybe not all, but at least the ones that apply to us directly, they are in place. And just last week we submitted our own evaluation document to our national authority. We submitted a very long document. We filled it out and provided all screenshots, all the documents, 200 pages in total. So we have submitted, and we believe that we have done our best. Of course, there are still things that we see need to be done. Mm-hmm. Again, probably we will follow your steps in some areas, but in general, yes, I think we are in a very good shape. Mm-hmm. Not sure about registrars. I'm not sure they are very well aware of all the things that they need to do. But I think in general we are getting there. And the oversight is good, support is good, and we also are ready to help our registrars to meet all the requirements.
Yes, Tomas?
In Lithuania, so it's the counter started at 17th of April this year when National Cybersecurity Center informed all the cybersecurity subjects who are entities who are included in this in the list of cybersecurity entities. So, and there is a transition period of 2 years. During 1 year, all organizational requirements should be implemented, and during the second year, till the 2027, April 17, technical requirements also have to be implemented for all entities that are included in this list.
But why is this list is not open?
I'm not sure. Maybe
these entities say no, that they are in list.
Maybe it's sensitive information for, let's say, enemies to know all the critical bodies, companies, and infrastructures, which could be, I don't know, targets in case of I don't know, attack or something. So it's so this was regulated by National Cybersecurity Center. So it's.
Yeah. In Estonian case, we have draft law is government sending to the parliament. They hope that the end of the year it will be the law, but you never know because we have local election, and before the local election, almost all parliamentarians are running in local election, and it means that there are a lot of to do, everything. But we have government behaves in this way that they adopt the government regulation where they put the obligation for the micro and small businesses, and these obligations are much less than in a NIS 2. And that's why I am very proud that we write this succession in the beginning of the year to the government, to the ministry, and they follow it. Now in Estonian regulation is that when you have less than 50 employees or 10 million euros revenue in the year, then you must fulfill the minimum standards in cybersecurity. And it's helped a lot of small registrars, for example, because my following question, I want to ask that how it affects our markets and so on, but our time is over, by the way. And now you all have possibility to ask all the questions in the coffee breaks and in the evening reception and so on and so forth. And thank you very much, Katrina and Tomas. And thank you for the questions.